I've just wiped my eyes from tears, crying from inside out. Listen, I know you all are thoroughly enjoying Chris. I am too. I actually forgot that I was hosting the show. I was just like, what? What? Are you serious? So, Chris, I'm just going to shift back over to you. Now, I was honest, and I said that I'm speechless, that I'm in awe.
Yeah.
But when God sends you, you know, for a certain mission, I'm sure at first you blinked a few times and, okay, that's why I'm here. I'm called to do this. I'm equipped to do this.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts of someone who may be listening right now saying, oh, wow.
Yeah. I mean, I think, you know, there's, even when I go now still, I've been to Rwanda a number of times. I've been to Cambodia. I've been to other places where things are just ugly. And every now and then it catches me off guard and I'm like, what? What, you know, what?
Yeah.
What do we do with this? And I know for people at home that hear this kind of things, it can tend to be very, very overwhelming. And I just want to, I guess, encourage you not to think about the 27,000 people that are trapped in slavery, or, you know, don't think of it as a big issue. But, you know, I know one girl whose name is Sandrine, and she's a prostitute, and she's 15 years old, and she hasn't had school. And that's what I think about when I think about, you know, the issue. You have to identify with a person, and that helps it become not as overwhelming, you know, because really, at the end of the day, I mean, yes, there's a billion people that aren't in school that should be, and there's 27,000 kids that die every day because they don't have health care or food or whatever, but, you know, each of those people have a name and a face. And until we start to look at it like that, you know, to look at it as, you know, what if my kid were in that situation, and put a face to it, things aren't going to change.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I love you so very much. Oh, my
You're
goodness,
precious.
I tell you. Now, what I love about your ministry specifically, you're very transparent. You have a heart for what you do. And not only that, you're dedicated to the mission. And I ask, are there people behind you? Many times people will want others to go with them. You said, no, sometimes I'm out there by myself. That's a sacrifice. So what other sacrifices have you had to make? I think we talked about you actually coaching at Sanford University at one time.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. A lot of people, when I talk about missions and what I've been doing for the last year, they're like, oh, that's such an incredible sacrifice and blah, blah, you know. And I'm like, what are you talking about? It's been the best 4 years of my life, you know? I mean, I've loved, it's been hard, you know, and there's some times where, dang it, I just really want a pizza and some sweet tea and I can't have it. But it's, you know, it's so worth it. And the love that I see and experience through the people that I work with is, I mean, that's better than anything, you know, aside from hugging my little nephew.
And I think you already know that God is going to reward you indeed.
Wow.
Your obedience of the 3 dreams of him walking through, Jesus walking through, you know, touching the, of course, one time you're like, okay, what was that? The second dream, okay. Now the third one, I don't think there was any way that you could have missed God in that sense, you know.
No, he was pretty obvious there.
In your obedience comes your blessings. And I just want to really thank you for walking in faith, doing what you do.
Thank you.
And how you do it. With a smile. We can obviously see, I mean, you're smiling, you're not mad, you're not frustrated, you're not upset, and definitely you're not worried about if somebody else goes with you. Of course you want mission.
Oh, I'd love to have people with me.
Definitely, but you have to do what you have to do, not tomorrow, but right now.
Yeah.
And I'm really just floored right now. After losing my 2 children, I do have a passion for children, but it seems like God has really commissioned me to go to the parents, to the mothers right now, because if we can get the mothers, then I believe the children can be saved from being malnourished, from being broken, and even suffering the way that they're suffering right now. So possibly in the future,
come on,
our family, because we just talked about that. So, and then I met you and I was like, okay, God, are you really speaking to us? But not only that, your voice piece, but you have a newsletter.
I do.
That has valuable information.
I do.
Valuable information. Can you share with them how they can contact you if they're interested in going on a mission or actually sowing financially or just receiving a newsletter so they can be informed of what's going on and keeping you in prayer?
Sure. We do have a website, and Tammie mentioned it earlier. It's letsdosomethingnow.com. And I have to warn you that it's a little bit outdated. Most of it is focused on a project that we did last summer, and it doesn't have a whole lot of stuff about Rwanda on it, but we'll get there, don't worry.
Amen.
I just need some money so that I can get there. But you can sign up for the newsletter there. You can donate through PayPal there. The email that's listed on that website is incorrect, so I need to give that to you. It's Bushby at Let's Do Something Now. Okay. No, that's not right. Bushby.letsdosomethingnow@gmail.com.
Amen. Listen, you all go visit her website and do something now. If you're going to contribute financially, God bless you. We love you all so very much. I know that he's touching some of your hearts because you've had a passion for the widows, for the orphans, for those that are in dire need. So connect with Chris. Go to her website, letsdosomethingnow.com, and move forward. Put one feet before the other. Go to the computer. Stop looking at that, I call it stuff that you don't need to be looking at, and do something that's going to help somebody else. I often tell you all, your life is not about you. Your life is all about being a blessing to somebody else. So why not help those that are hungry? Why not help those that are in dire need in these foreign countries? We're blessed here. We're fortunate beyond what words can ever imagine or even think. Just think about it right now. When was the last time that you didn't have clothing in your closet? I'm sure, Chris, that they probably have clothes galore. Somebody's right now, even as I'm talking, in their closet going, oh, I wore that dress last Sunday. Oh, I don't want to wear this. Guess what? There are people who need clothing. So if you have clothing, if you have shoes that you want to get rid of, I'm sure that she can definitely take it over there with her to be a blessing to those people. So let's do something now. Get connected. And more importantly, pray. Pray for her that God will strengthen her, that God will continue to bless her, but more importantly, that God will download wisdom and knowledge of how to do what she's doing as a strategically skilled woman to be a blessing to these people. Now, Chris, you mentioned it's outdated on your website, but I was truly blessed by it, the Project 219. Tell us a little bit about that one before we go.
Project 219 was basically a prayer project. Actually, it was completely a prayer project, and it was focused on the World Cup that was in South Africa last year. And it's kind of a known fact that prostitution and human trafficking increased dramatically around major sporting events, which is sad and interesting, but it's true. So we felt that we should go to South Africa and do a 24/7 prayer for 50 days surrounding the World Cup. And, you know, I think most of my heart behind Let's Do Something Now, I mean, it's equally about us as a church in America and how we can be involved and how we can look beyond ourselves and get more involved, just as much as it's about helping somebody in Rwanda or, you know, whatever. Because I really want to see people get it, you know. What's that? I once was blind and now I see kind of thing. Yes. But anyway, the South Africa project, we prayed around the clock for 50 days, and my church here in Mississippi, they also prayed just about around the clock for 50 days with us, and it was incredible. I mean, South Africa is a very segregated nation still, and to come into the prayer room, you know, sometimes and see, you know, blacks and whites and coloreds and different, you know, nationalities and different genders and generations all praying together about one thing.
That's God.
That's amazing.
God doesn't show any, I call it favoritism. He only just sees one color, you. He sees your heart. Yeah. It's we as a people that often begin to segregate and think about, oh, you're Caucasian, oh, you're African American, oh, you're Korean. God doesn't see that. Yeah. But to come together in prayer, that's powerful. Yeah, we know that prayer works, that it changes things. I know personally, and I know you are a living testimony that prayer works. So I just want to encourage you right now to keep going. If there's anything that we can do, woman to woman with Tammie Tubbs, to be a blessing, we're going to sow financially. And you're actually on your way now, getting close to another mission trip that you have to go out on.
Yeah, on Sunday.
You can't discuss in detail, of course, but on Sunday, correct?
Yeah, yes. Okay. Sunday the 20th, I'm out of here.
Oh, wow. Well, listen, I tell you all, this is what I need you to do. Begin to pray and intercede for her right now, that God would just strengthen her, that he would empower her even the more to do what he's called her to do. He's already provided ways, given her favor. I call it the shield of favor around her. She knows that no weapon that's formed against you is going to prosper. So keep moving. We love you, and God bless you. I pray and hope that you all have been thoroughly blessed by this specific segment of Woman to Woman with Tammie Tubbs. Listen, go visit us at TammieTubbs.com. Let us hear your information, comments. I can't even talk because Chris has messed me up on today. Your comments, your opinions, your suggestions, everything from your heart. And if there's anything that you would like to ask Chris, go to letsdosomethingnow.com. Be a blessing, and always remember that God loves you and I do too. Be blessed now.
Living in this world ain't easy. It can seem hard sometimes.